one of the amazing things that I got to do, guys, I'm so emotional. I'm so emotional and I don't want to cry, but one of the most amazing things that I got to do was to Hey, how are you? How are you doing? Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for watching my videos. Thank you so much for being part of the notification gang. Thank you so much for your love. I love and appreciate you. And of course, if it's your first time on my channel, honey, welcome to the RealFam. Welcome to a family that is empowered, a family that is transformed, a family that loves, doing the best and love being the best version of ourselves. And of course, we do all of this one video at the time. Can I confess something? It took me a couple of days to really get to a point where I do this video. And not because I didn't know what to say, but because it was really there were so many emotions going on, and I needed to do a whole lot of things, including tapping back to the younger version of myself, tapping back to my early 20s, tapping back to the youth, the teenager in me. And beautiful and complicated as it was, I had to do it. But it was so difficult to even get to a point of doing this video. But nevertheless, I just want to say Youth Month was really a month to tap back into what matters the most, and not necessarily to take myself back, but to bring every young person, everyone who is considered to be youth, to really bring them closer to understanding this journey of building their lives, or being young and growing, and understanding that for you to be empowered, whatever that you utter with your mouth is something that you get to carry with you. And when you carry it with you, the results eventually show. And whatever that you carry with you from the youngest, from when you were very young, it's something that you continue with. And it's something that can either build or break you in the process. And I want to take you a little bit back on my journey, 7 years ago. And what's also so special about this video is that the jacket that I'm wearing right now, it's actually 7 years old and a couple of months. And what's more special again is that, my very first YouTube video that I've created, it was on June 16, 7 years ago. It was on June 16 on Youth Day. And I think that I want you to understand the foundation from a general term. Before a house is built, it looks beautiful and everything, there is what we call a foundation. Am I right? So what happens is that before that house is complete, before this church was complete, first of all, there was a foundation. And I think that's why I was so passionate about even doing this series about Youth Month. I am super, super happy, and I feel like I was able to somehow reach out and achieve one or two things. It might not be all. There are so many conversations that we still need to have, but I believe that I was able to really touch someone's life and to really help that young person to have hope, to understand that I'm capable, I'm not limited, I'm not capable of not making it. I'm actually more than capable of doing the best. I am more than capable of being the best version of myself. And I was not going to be able to achieve all of that if I didn't have, the kind of panel that I had. I mean, I had young, amazing girls that I love and I'm so proud of, and they are so close to my heart. And I had to have them here because you know, it was something special for me. And of course I knew that when they touch your heart, it was going to be something special. I mean, when I speak about Melusi, the fact that Melusi, you know, when she identified me, or when she came to me after I was speaking at, you know, at school, my former university, which she was studying at, and after having a conversation with them, you know, motivating them, she came to me. She walked out of the door, and I remember that time she was a little bit shaky having a conversation with me, and I could see something special about her. And from that moment on, I was like, you know what, I'm going to carry your hand. I mentored her. I kept her going, and until she got to the level where she was. Of course, I didn't do much. I feel like I didn't do much. She graduated because she believed that she could. As much as times were hard, but she believed that she could. And this is the same to just anyone out there. If you believe that you can do something, not even your mentor, not even someone you look up to, not even your parent, not even your friend can really push you that far. At the end of the day, you make a decision. You can push a person to a certain point, but they get to, you know, finish it up, if you get what I mean. So if you are thirsty and you are running and you're tired, you either need to drink water so that you can get the energy to keep going. So it's the same thing as empowering or motivating someone or mentoring someone. You can only do so much. So I'm glad that I was able to achieve that. And that's what I wanted, you know, you and I to see, that, you know, there's so much impact that we have in the world. There's so much impact that we have on young people. And what we utter with our mouths, what we really do, it's something that can either build someone, can either shape someone's future. And I do believe in this slogan for my foundation. As you know, if you don't know, I have a foundation called RealTalkWithNthabi, and the slogan there is together we can do more. And that for me means that if I can empower one person, you can also do the same. If I can, you know, make a difference to one or two girls or boys, you can actually do the same as well. And of course, this month was purely around girls, to really empower girls, because I do believe that there's so much potential in a young girl's life, and I relate better with girls than I would relate with boys. And I hope that there's a guy out there who also sees the need to really empower a young boy, a boy child, to really be the best version of themselves. And of course, Loli, my goodness, such an amazing, soulful girl with an amazing voice. You guys heard her sing. If you haven't, please replay, because if you're not gonna replay, you're still gonna miss out. You're gonna miss out on so much. I can promise you now, because you'll feel left out when we have such conversations, because you don't know what we're talking about. You can replay even yesterday's video. If you're watching any other day, any other year, listen, the end screen will show you where you need to go. All right. So I am so blessed and amazed that I'm able to really be a part of, you know, young people like Loli, who are just amazing and hungry. And I see myself in them. That is something that I mentioned. And the fact that I met her at a primary school, former primary school that she was at when we were, actually, no, it was not at the school, actually. It was an event that we had, and my aunt, which is a principal at Bogatu Primary School, you know, what came with her. And from that moment, I got to see the brightness in this girl, and from there I got to just connect, and I never stopped connecting with her. I had conversations with her. We even got to a point where my foundation got to go to her school and donate sanitary towels, and that was the most amazing thing. She was, you know, an MC. Myself and her were emceeing the event, and it was just super amazing. So where I'm going with this is that there's just so much that you can do in terms of empowering, you know, a girl child, and there's so much that you can do. You don't really need to splash money to people or really somehow inspire someone by just, you know, trying to give them something. Instead, you can take them in a journey. What I'm trying to say is that you can take, you know, me, you can take that young girl and that young boy, take them on a journey, allow them to experience, you know, the journey that you want them to see in terms of empowerment, in terms of doing the best, in terms of really achieving so much. You know, be that role model that will be there, that will be present, fully present, that is not just speaking, but acting. That's what I'm trying to say. And of course, meeting Beyonce, who is Loli's friend, recently, I can't say much about her, but what I can say is that I got to see how, you know, that friendship is so amazing because they are both empowered and they are both positive. And having them on the platform was just so beautiful because you can see so much, you know, so much empowered girls in them, so much empowerment, so much of, I don't know. I don't know what words to use, but what I can say is that they are so bright. They are so, you know, well informed. They are so eager to learn. They are so eager to reach their goals, and that's what they are doing. And I'm just so grateful that I got to really do that throughout this month. And you know, I mean. 10 minutes is gone and I've been busy talking about them and it's because of how amazing they were, and this month was honestly about them. But now tapping back to myself and tapping back to the journey of my life, the journey that inspired me or drove me to even doing such an amazing series, you know, it was a couple of videos. It reached out to 1 or 2 people. It might not be a lot of people, but I know for a fact that there's someone who is empowered. I know that there are testimonies that, you know, I actually been said. Even yesterday itself, we had, you know, a young girl commenting that, you know, there are other times where you don't know what to say or who to speak to, and it's so hard, but listening to what you guys said made me feel good, and that was just amazing. That is enough. If you can make a difference to one person, that is enough. That is enough. And I honestly tapped back to, you know, that little child in me and, you know, the young person in me, and, you know, I got to revisit the 7 years that I had, you know, that diary of the things that I wanted to achieve, of the things that I wanted to accomplish, of the things that I wanted for myself, wanted for my family. And something that was also very close to my heart that I mentioned 7 years ago was that it's important, I'm getting emotional, it's important for young people to have a good relationship with their parents. It's important for young people to communicate with their parents. It's important for parents to know what's happening in their kids' life. It's very sad that kids go through the most and yet they are there, but they just don't understand what is happening in their kids' lives. It's so sad knowing that they are there, but it's as if life is normal. They just don't know what's happening in their kids' lives. So the routine is that they get home, you know, everyone gets to do whatever, mind their own business. They've got their own rooms, own TVs and everything. The only time you communicate with them is when you ask them, did you do a homework? If they say, yes, I did. If they say, no, I didn't, then you say, okay, go and do it, and then that's it. You know, you don't make time to sit down and have a conversation with your kids. And old as I am, you know, 34 years of my life, I feel like, well, things have gotten better now. Things have changed throughout the 7 years, but there was a point where I didn't have, you know, that, you know, communication with my parents in terms of just, you know, there would be times where I wish, you know, my mom and dad could sit me down and ask me things and say this to me and, you know, ask me about school. And even when I was in tertiary, early years of my year, like I would have, you know, a roommate who her dad would call her to check, how are you doing? show me the results and everything. And I was like, you know, I so wish I could have that, but I got to have that later. But now what I'm saying is that parents, please make sure that you become fully present in your kid's life. Be fully present to a point where you make it easy for your child to know and understand that if I need to talk, if I need to ask something, I know where to go. If I am sitting down and not saying much, you as a parent should have an idea that maybe my child is not right. So build that conversation with your kids. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. And tapping back also made me remember the one of the amazing things that I got to do. Guys, I'm so emotional. I'm so emotional. And I don't want to cry, but one of the most amazing things that I got to do was to build a home for my family. And it's been a while since I've done that. It's been a while since I've done that, but it's still something that shocks me to this day. And not shock me because it's something that, you know, looks like it couldn't happen, but it still shocks me because I'm seeing the amazing, I'm seeing the power of God. I'm seeing how God is able to trust me with something this big. I mean, I look at that house and I'm like, God, you trust me this much. You trust me this much to be able to do this. It means that you can trust me with so much more. And it got me to think of what more God is going to do in my life. It took me to that space when I had pictures in the wall where I used to stay and rest, pictures of my family, pictures of a house that I used to pass every time I go to school. And every time I passed that house, I was like, I'm going to build that house for my family. And I can tell you now, the structure of that house, it's exactly similar to the house that I've built for my family. Well, even better, you know, it's even better. And it also makes me realize that if you keep affirming things, they're going to happen. If you have a vision, if you have a desire, if you pray about something, God is going to deliver. And God is not just going to give you whatever that you desire just like that. If what you're asking for is not even closer to what He has in store for you, He will make sure that you get more. So there's a song that says, my God is what? My God is too much, oh, He's too much, oh, He's too much, oh, He's too much, I love it, my God is too much, oh. You know, I can't sing, but I know something about music. It really gets me to a mood. And there was this song about, I think it was an old gospel singer, and then it says something about God will double, like, God will double or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, something like that. So meaning God will double whatever that you desire. God will always increase what you are asking for. So this was an affirmation for me, or a moment for me to realize that, hey, God is actually going to do more for you. God is trusting you with more. God is going to actually do more wonders in your life. So whatever that you think you have done, it's nothing compared to what more He can do or what more He will do. That is why my amazing famous quote, I have seen what hard work can do, and I know what more it can and will do. I love this amazing quote, and mainly because it speaks life. It speaks to exactly what has been happening in my life. I got to see God doing great things for me. I got to see Him take me from, you know, zero to being a hero, from being zero to from having nothing to just having a lot. I've seen Him take me from, you know, thinking that Today is not going to be a better day to making my day the best day ever. So without really dwelling much into that, I just want to inspire you to say that whatever dreams that you have, whatever goals that you have set, they are valid. Your dreams are valid. Whatever that you want to achieve, whatever that you want to accomplish, it is not impossible. Whatever that is possible with God, it can be impossible with men, but it is possible with God. So don't ever doubt his ability to do great things for you. And, not trying to deviate from, my section, I also want to touch a lot on, the conversation that we had and around confidence. There's an issue of young people struggling with confidence, struggling with loving themselves the way they are, appreciating themselves as they are. And I just want to speak to a young person right now to say that your confidence is in your hands. Your confidence is in your hands. As much as you feel like you need someone to tell you that, be confident. Your confidence is in your hands. The minute you look in the mirror and look at yourself, look at your face, look at your body, and turn around and look at just every part of your body. The minute you can look at yourself and look in the mirror again and smile and say, I love you as you are. I appreciate you as you are. And if you can do that, I can promise you this, that you will be at a better place. Your confidence will just be at another level. And understand something about confidence. If you are struggling in any area of your life, whether it's at school, whether it's, even at work, because, it's not just about young people at school that we're talking to. If you're struggling at work, or if you're struggling achieving something and you are somehow trying to look at what others are having, or what others are, or how others are excelling, and trying to compare yourself with other people, you are stealing your joy. The minute you do that, you'll be stealing your joy. So do not allow yourself to go through that. It's the most horrible experience ever. It's the most lonely place ever, because you are hiding in your own shell of being, or feeling sorry for yourself, feeling like you're not enough, feeling like you're not worthy, feeling like you're not worth it. And when you do that, you are allowing even all the negative stuff, all the enemies that are trying to destroy you, to just come into your life and just finish you off. You are not about that. You're not going to do that. If you're watching this video right now, you are going to tell that young person that you are not about that. You are capable of more. If you are young right now and you're watching this, you are not about that. You're capable of more. If you are a mother or a sister, you are going to tell that to your daughter or your sister that you're not about that. You're capable of doing so much more. You're capable of being the best version of yourself. This world is big enough for all of us. This world was designed for each and everyone's purpose. Big as it is, I don't care how many we are in this world, but this world was built enough for all of us to really be in it and fulfill our God-given purpose. So whatever purpose that God has given you, fulfill that purpose. Do not limit yourself. Do not feel like you are not better than someone else. Even that person who you think is better than you, there is someone who is better than them. Do not compete with other people. Stay in your lane. Compete with yourself. There's a reason also why I even, mentioned, the book of the Life That Matters. There's a book that I have, and if you've been watching my videos, I've really spoken about that book, The Life That Matters, the conversations that are there in terms of you focusing on, your own race, running your own race, focusing on yourself and doing the things the best way possible, the best way, in a godly way, and being kind, being caring, being positive at all times. Because if you are negative, you are allowing all the negative energies to come into your life. So I think I should really end this video here. It's been a lovely, 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 lovely 30 days of Youth Month. Yes, I know we didn't do like 30 videos, but the journey has just been amazing of just really tapping back and having conversations with young people. And a big thank you to just each and every one who really supported this series where we've been engaging with young people, engaging about youth conversation. If you love other content better, but you were able to just bear with me and really engage on this content, I just want to say thank you. But nevertheless, this channel is really to empower you and transform you, and we cannot really touch on specific topics only without somehow touching just, you know, in general or holistically, so every areas of your lives, and every area that can impact or you know have so much you know so much impact you know, certain areas that have more impact in your life, areas that will, you know, help you grow or help someone grow. So I just want to say thank you. And of course, getting an opportunity to also speak to Tshwane University of Technology was just a bliss for me, because I was engaging about entrepreneurship and the future of entrepreneurship. I appreciate that platform, and a big shout out to Tshwane University of Technology. It's because of that university that I was able to graduate and have the skills that I have, and be able to even upgrade my skills. And it was because of that university that I was able to have my very first salary ever in my life. It's because of that university that I was able to see the more potential that I have within myself. So I can go on and on, I can really go on, but all I can say is that thank you so much for all your support. Thank you so much for everyone who took part. Melusi, Loli, Beyonce, thank you so much. You guys are super amazing. And my audience, I can never do this without you. I can never do this without you. You guys have always been amazing. We are now gonna get into, you know, another, you know, section of our content. And yes, I could be bombarding you with a couple of videos, but the fact that you still come back, you still watch, you still engage, that is a lot to me. That means so much, and I can't help but just be grateful for you. And I just wish you nothing but the best. You know, I just wish you nothing but the best. So thank you so much for your support. And yeah, I can go on and on, but let me end it here. Let me end it here. I love you always. Take care, and remember to make today count. Love you always. Cheers for now.